Why, hello there. Let's make sure everything is happy. So that's good. How about you? Are you good? Go on. Tell me if you're good or not. Yes, okay. That seems okay. And you seem okay. Perfect. Love it. Okie dokie. Let's also get this going. All right. So, we had problem last time where we're adding a duplicate connection to rooms. And I actually just spotted, right before I started, I spotted it. Right here and right here, we didn't set updated. And I was looking, so we do need to continue on beyond this point. Because we need to set, if it's on the same map, we do need to put it into our destination table and all that. This set same map connection tile data. Okay, yeah. Parent location, target vector. Except, what does this do that... Target tile update connection data. Connection location as connection tile, update connection. And we feed it our connection data. Yeah, I think we still need to do this. Okay, so we just need to correctly say here that updated is true in both of those cases, like so. Let's run this and see. Ooh, we have issue. Why we have an issue? Because I didn't type all of the letters. That's why. Okay. So, now, if we go to our gym, and we delete you here, we don't have a duplicate key in here anymore. Northwest, east, south, and southeast. And then here, south is cleaned up. Perfect. Okay. That fixes that. If we delete you from here, it's not updating. We need to do that. But that's one of the issues taken care of. So that is to done. Okay. And we hadn't started tackling the room part just yet. Clear connection from tables. This is my update room. There was... we can delete connection on the tile. We'd have to get the tile, though. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Clear connection is what we want to do here. Next targeted maps. That is what we're going to want to do there. That way, we actually remove it and clear it. How's development going? Going pretty good. Going pretty good. Just started for today. There, is there a tile data add connection? But that won't... That's that. There's nothing here. I can update them. I don't have a helper to create a connection, which is fine. Also, actually, before I do that, we want to go into here. If there's no change here at all, we don't need to go through all the rest of this. We can just return directly in both of these cases. Once we figure out what we have and where it is in the list, we're just done. Con data ID is room to update UID. UUID, I should say. Update room. Yeah, and we don't have... But because updating the adjacent connection tiles will go around and it'll pull adjacent tile. If you're a room data, we go through your connections and we see... We set the default tag if it's missing. We know you're cardinal at that point. And then we update you. So that should take care of that part. We just need to... where did you go? There is no add connection helper, but here we can say if you're cardinal, because we have room to... Wait, actually, hang on. Hang on. This adds them to the table, but they're already in my room to update in the correct places. We've combined them here to figure out what's new and what's not. So we shouldn't need to do that. We've cleared the connection here now. I think that actually just might do it. Let's go ahead and rebuild just to be sure. We have everything new. So in here, if I delete south, it's not removing still. Let's double check everything here. Offset location X, offset location Y is equal to room to update. Don't have any errors coming out. Update adjacent connection tiles. And our offset location is our offset coordinate. We go through combined existing. If it doesn't contain, if our new connections don't contain it, then we clear it. This remove, well, no. This tile delete connection for vector. This is equal to my room to update. It's because it doesn't remove these guys. They're in there still. They're just flagged for deletion, which actually simplifies our life now that we don't have these different connection objects, right? For this, let's see here. I don't think we need this guy at all anymore. Which means we don't need you, right? Connection data ID. So well, we can't really do this just yet. We have to do this in 2 steps. Because room to update cardinals. We need to go through the cardinals. If you're staged for deletion, then we're going to go ahead and what was it? Clear connection from tables. We're only going to do tables right here. And then actually, because it's going to complain about modifying the list we're in, we are going to have to do a little different. Let's combine them still. Hang on, we'll roll this back. Combine new connections. We'll put that back in. if it's staged for deletion, we're going to clear it from tables only, and then remove first occurrence of the value. No effect if it's not in the list. So we can just do we can just call remove on both of them. Otherwise, we have to go through both. We have to make 2 copies and go through them and all that. Which we could do. I think this will probably be fine, though. Or... I get in here. Annoying. It's probably fine. Hey, Duvakine, how's it going? Goes alright. Just getting started here. Spotted my mistake on the duplicate connection creator. Now we're just sprucing up the room update to handle correctly, because before it would have been missing things because we updated things differently. Now it's not missing things, so we just need to handle it better. They're flagged instead. So I don't love that, but we could. This is gonna be fine. I don't want to break it out into a function. Technically, it'll be a little bit slower, but like, the list should be small. There's no reason to have, 100 connections on these things. It's windy out there. Does that mean a storm is going to blow in? I hope not. That would be bad. Let's check. Be bad for my internet connection, I should clarify. Let's see here. Cloudy skies this morning will become partly cloudy this afternoon. Tonight, thunderstorms, but shouldn't be during the day. It's just going to be a little bit windy, I guess. I think we'll have off and on thunderstorms in the area for a while coming up, but not right meow. I'm going to pretend I have the context, know what you meant by that, and say, yes, the duplicate room creator. That's okay. It was an issue from yesterday that we encountered, and we're trying to track down. Okay, so we remove you. If you're staged for deletion, that... And I guess... we still have to add these new things to the table, though. Update adjacent connection. We'll go through them. It'll update connection tile, but this won't... if I'm not mistaken... it'll update connection on the connection tile. it'll put in the placeholders if appropriate. It will not add it to tables, because this is it's about updating the UI stuff basically, not about the data underneath. So I actually do think we still want to do this. Current object cardinals and current object tagged. Okay, and then in here, so if it's staged for deletion, cool, we'll clear it out. If it's not staged for deletion, if the existing connection lists don't contain, because we're running through the new, then we need to do this still. And make it the new, add it to the table, make it to the new ID. Okay. You can't be null. Thought we made you a non-nullable. Thought we did that. Maybe we did that for the connection and not the room. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Except for, yeah, instead of doing nil, we're going to throw an exception here too. That's what we decided to do over there. I'm going to keep that consistent. UUID found for room. Okay. And that's going to clean up a lot of null checking work here. So let's do that really quick. It's just going to make this a lot nicer to work with. It was only nullable for the sake of unmarshalling, but it just doesn't make sense, right? You and you. Where else? And here still. You. It's up here. Don't need that anymore right now. Okay. That will, I think, take care of this issue. Let's go ahead and rebuild. Just to make sure we got new code in all the places. And if I delete my south here, then it actually goes away and life is happy once more. Cool. Love that. We'll make sure that that still applies. Yes. We'll try with north as well. Yes. Shouldn't matter, but yes. Oops. Keep clicking the wrong button. There we go. Northeast did not work. Connection has no parent ID in connection table. Okay, so good thing we checked. Northeast. Oh, because you're empty, right? Yeah. So we can't delete an empty connection, obviously. That should be a UI thing, though, I think. To where doesn't matter. Do we need an error message for that? Do I have you open still? We'll have to look. In tile data, sidebar. It's going to be connection tile. Nope, connection data form. Empty. When I click delete on you, clear pending connection right here. I guess we can just say if the connection we already handle we can't switch this. We handle new connection. I guess we could just do it based on empty. You're supposed to go in there. I guess that makes sense. Let's reset this. And then if I was to... Yeah, nothing happens. You get set. Yeah, I probably need feedback in the UI on that. I need... Do I have input decoration? I have that. I have a snack bar in here somewhere for the clicky clicks. Okay, yeah, we can just do invalid connection template is what we used for you, but you delete connection. Instead of just returning here, we do this, but snack bars invalid connection templates. Because I put you in widgets. Where did I put you? Snack bars, widgets, snack bars. It must be in this widgets. Snack bars. Yes. Invalid connection, invalid room. Not too much. Just connection is empty. Snack bar, content, center, child, text. This connection is a placeholder. Can't be deleted. Let's do that. Placeholder delete. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then, inu snack bars placeholder delete, like so that when I do this, that pops up in the middle there, and life is pretty good. Not really centered, is it? It's probably because I made this bigger so I could see better. Yeah, okay, that's fine for now. We'll go with that. Context or snack bar placeholder deletes. I think, what do we got here? Support resizing later. That's still a to do later. We still gotta do sorting. We still gotta do sorting. We still gotta make sure this works. Is there anything else in this change? We do need to add tag connections, externals, all this. Okay, but we do have a really good chunk of refactor work here. It's a big one. And I'm just gonna put it all into one commit, rework, map controller, update, and map state to allow the map controller's data to drive the UI without the intermediary objects being connections, I guess I should say, connection data being held separately in the map state provider. Update map controller update logic to handle this new approach. Fix all the things in the widgets that were broken by these changes. Okay, that can go up. Big old chunker. Meow. We're still putting off the whatchamacallit, the neighboring map stuff. And for tag connections, the room update functions should be squared away with regards to update. Think. Let's make sure though. Because we go through, we add you there if we need to. We don't do it on updating the tiles, but that still makes sense, right? The connection tiles are only for cardinal stuff. So should all be fine. That's fine there. You tend to write really compressive commit messages. Do you find those practically useful? Yes. Just as like a guide. So like if I do get show history, this gives me an idea of what it was that I touched here, right? I don't need to write a paragraph really. I try to keep it reasonably condensed. This is too long, really, but like it was a big commit, right? But like, what did I do in here? Okay, so I did this, and I can get an idea of where I need to start looking if I did something. Like, okay, I had ability to close map. Something's broken in closing map. What did I do here? Okay. And in this area, I probably did similar things, maybe. Hard to say, but it gives you a starting point, right? I usually try to get as much info in 10 words or less. I feel like people have super low attention span when looking through the Git log and are mostly looking for keywords. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but like the commit itself. Oh, I meant comprehensive. I see. Still, yeah, I am looking for keywords, but also if I'm looking at why I changed a thing, if I kind of just jot down what I was doing along the way, if I have to really try to dig into why did I do this later, it'll help dig that up. Often I just read the code, but like, and it's the same if you like if I go into Git itself and I'm looking at my commits here, or into GitHub itself, I should say. Same thing applies, right? But like if I'm looking at the this, that's a bad example. I would need to go into lib screens. Like, let's just say I'm looking at this config object base guy here. I should be able to, yeah, right here. So I can see what was I thinking about when I did this, right? And it's not always the case that this is useful, but like sometimes it is. And it's really cheap and easy to just jot down your thinking in the moment. And adding more information for future you is something that usually, if it's super low effort, like there's just no reason not to. Like some people will open a full-blown editor and like write paragraphs and all that crap. Not me. That's too much, right? Sometimes it ends up being a paragraph just because I changed a lot of things and I probably should have broken it up more, but like, you know? Just looking for that trade-off of giving context if I happen to need it with like not spending all my time filing, you know? And the more comprehensive, even if you are scanning for keywords, which absolutely do, right? The more keywords you put in there that are relevant, the more likely you're going to find that thing. Like I've had to crawl through commit histories before looking for a change to understand what happened. And I was glad that the person that had done them did at least a decent job of kind of throwing in a quick summary in the comments. Okay, so you're not breaking it up more, my Achilles heel, right? I mean, and like again, it's like I try to do it where it makes sense. I'm a little bit more loosey goosey with it when it's just me, but like, you know, even if it's not just me, like there's a limit to. Sometimes things are kind of intertangled, right? And in a perfect world, you make a change, it goes into its own commit, and everybody, does that. But like, sometimes things get tangled up and intermingled, um, and it's hard to split them up. But like, do you want to go through the interactive committing and all that, or do you want to just commit it and be like, sorry, Pulling myself out of the zone to commit steps is a major pain. Yeah, it's true. Everything is always about the balance, right? And sometimes those little things that come up are, well, we need to refactor this. Like, okay, so when we were going through here, coordinates needed to get a distance helper, right? So that's related, but it's in a different package, and it's actually a distinct change from everything else. Does it go in the same commit? Do you just chuck it into its own commit? I often will, if it's something like that. But like, in a perfect world, you probably stop what you're doing and you go make yourself a nice little new Jira, and you create a new branch for it, and you go do the change, and then you get it merged, and then you merge main into this branch, and then you continue on with your work. And there's a limit to my patience for shit, right? you gotta balance getting stuff done with the ideals always, and you're gonna get it wrong, as with everything. You're not always gonna do it perfect. Doesn't matter. I had I worked with guys once upon a time that suggested I should be marking time spent on every commit, or every, I don't remember if it was a commit or a step in a commit, or the whole PR. I think it was commits though, and I was just like, no, I don't fucking care. He said, "Jira, abort, right?" Well, that's the only place you'll find people that are really going to grouse about that too much, right? I would hope, is in a very Scrumtrafall, Jira heavy mess of a place. Like even my Kanban board is not a Kanban board, right? It's a Mongoose board is what this is, because like I find it helpful to kind of have tasks split up between what they are and where they go. Okay, thank you, go away. And this is like as much organization as I want, right? Just tickets, just things I need to do, things for future me to remember. I try to do these more than to-dos, but like in the moment, if it's all related, I'll just chuck in a to-do, right? Um, but like theoretically, there should only be a backlog, an in progress, and a done, right? But and I'm not completely like, sometimes things don't really fit in a place. Sometimes they require both things, and I'm not completely satisfied with this, but it's better. Should be a to-do list with structure. Right, yeah. So I'm sure there are Kanban purists out there. And words do have meanings, right? Um, it's just, this is what I have developed over time, for my own projects that keeps me somewhat organized. And then periodically we go archive all these. And these aren't even issues at this point. I've done issues before as well. And I think it just adds too much extra junk when you're in the middle of developing the initial stuff still, right? Um, the project that I do it in, I kind of just do it because I started it to try it, and it would be weird to change it now. Um, but like these don't have issues backing them. There's no issue in in the engine repo here. Too early for issues. That'll happen when it's stable-ish or closer to. And that's when I'll worry about it. Okay. So I think this should be fine. Should be done. Yeah, that all we need to figure out still. Let's do the sorting really quick because that's kind of the bow on this particular change. It needs to exist before it can have issues. I mean, the code base already has issues. That's what the bugs column's for. So in our map controller, let's close these. Because this is all just visual. So our tag utils. It's our test. We don't want to be in test yet. Tag utils has this sorter. We could give... Not in the form. We could do it in the model, I suppose. I would think. Connection model. Do a sort function in here. We have to... How do we make this nice to work with? I guess we would just sort it by tag, and then it doesn't matter. We would just have to do the same thing here. Connection data. Connection B, right? And then you, in the same way we return this, we'd return tag utils, sort tag, connection A, oop, that's the wrong capitalization, and connection B. This would just be a wrapper for that, right? Oop, no, not that. Dot tags. Ooh, except for... I can't do that. I can't do that. Because you have multiple tags. We could sort by the first index, I guess? Or the first tag in the index? Will that give me what I want? What I really, really want? Tags can't be null if we're in here. Let's go. Let's dart instead. How about that? How you doing, Marco? I could do that. And we pardon me, we sort the tags anytime we add them. I think, yeah. I think we can do that. It'll probably be okay. And then if you add like extra tags to your cardinals, then that leaves them in their cardinal order. And the rest will just end up being sorted by alphabet, I believe. Okay, so let's just go with that for now and see if we hate it or not. When we load our datas, inflate map, we do that. This tile connection IDs dot clear dot cardinal connections sort. We go and give you connection data sort connection. And then are tagged. We also sort you. Give you this function without arguments. Thank you. So that way we load this. And we'll have to do this anytime we change it at 2, I suspect. But this should get us back to... Yeah, east comes before south, becomes before west, because we go counterclockwise from north. Northeast, southeast, south. West. Okay. Let's make sure... Whenever we add a connection, which will happen in map state, room data, add connection. So we do all this, and then, oh, actually, as we add you here, we could put these here, get it for us. It's gonna happen on every time we add in the initial startup, and maybe that's okay. Let's just do that. Then, if we go and we add, so let's say we find one U. So east and west, if I add connection to the north, then you get up top. Let's reset that. If I add connection to the south, then you end up below in your position. In the east, east, south, west, clockwise, everything work. And that's much better than our janky sort that we were doing before. Which... we didn't do the sort method because we also needed a duplicate of them. I guess here we could be smarter. We could do... half the work by adding a couple bools here. And the same here for tagged. And then if cardinal changed, we sort our cardinals. And then if tag changed, we sort our tagged. Just a nice little bit of give a damn, I suppose. Okay, that done. Let's go ahead. I think this is all we need for sorting these fellers. So we'll go ahead. Double check. Connection model, yes. Map controller, yes. Room model. What did we... oh, yeah, we added the sort, duh. And then state preferred. That seems good to me. Sort the tags. We changed on adding them. Or actually, I should say, add the ability to sort connections by tag index 0. Sort whichever list we changed on addition of a connection to a room. That can go up. Love that for me. Okay. Now our external stuff is... oh, wait, no. We want to do one more thing. We want to make sure that we clear the map state, because we had an trouble where I think it was, I had something. Oh, I should have written down what I did to repro it. I think I had a change. And I closed it. It said, yes, you're going to be discarded. Do you want to continue? And I said, sure. And then I came back. And this was not discarded. So we wrote that to file too soon, probably. We could find out. Let's actually save that. No, it's because it's still stored in that map controller is what it is. It wasn't written to file. It's I gotta think about what the desired behavior is. Do we want to support you being able to change maps like that and then go back and still have your changes staged but not written? I think that gets confusing. It gets hard to understand what is allowed and isn't. I think we just need to reset, because map controller has a doesn't have a reset. We had a reset here, but that just sets the selected tile. We have a reload map. Reload map. I think that's the only way we're gonna know whether or not we've changed anything. Hello to you as well. Yeah, I think it's gonna behave as a reload. That's what I think. So when we go, we probably need to start. I'm doing all right. We probably need to start from the UI to know for sure, because there's two places where reset would happen. One is here. The other is if we change here. So we got to make sure that both of those get set, because as you can see, that one right there, this one has been cleared. This one, oop, I guess that one's cleared now too. Well, a second ago it wasn't. So we got to be careful. Let's go look at map pane. It's where you live. Our menu stuff. And it's actually going to be reset here. Map state map changed. We do this on confirm. Switch selected map call. Okay, so we call switch selected map here. This just needs to the map controller reloads map. You can't be null at this point. I guess it could be. If I have a map controller, I reload him. Yes, okay. And then the app state. I don't have access to app state in here. What are you? You're my callback. So that should be fine. That should get set to false. And then my reset. This is my close. My reset just calls reload map. Okay, that's fine. So let's rebuild to make sure. Go into the gym. I go foo at 1-0. I close you, sure. I come back. It's not there anymore because we reloaded. Same should apply. I should get a warning here. Sure. And if I go back to the editor, it's still there. That didn't happen. Okay. So that one comes from the home screen. That's going to be an app state too. We won't know selected map there. That'll be a problemo. Do I... Do I want to make it go through my list of controllers? Let's go back to main here. Because editor screen, status effects, skills and attributes. No, absolutely not. We moved you. Yeah, we moved this to app state. But you should still. It's set page is where we called. And this listens to app state. Okay, or it has access to app state, which is what gives us that. On this, can I don't think there's a... There is a dispose on this because provider implements it. Select map controller. If it's not null, reload the map. I think you get disposed. I think. Let's make sure. Just for fun. So we go into map editor. We do our edit. We apply it to the current map, but this is the in-memory map. Then we go away this way. Status effects will do. We say okay. Disposed gets called. And then if we go back to our map editor, it hasn't been saved. Perfect. Love it. Okay, we don't need that for realsies. Um, because this state only exists when we're in this thing. The maps are loaded. They exist in the app state. They're just not in this. Okay. That's fine. Let's commit this. So we've changed Jim. No. Why is Jim changed? Do not change Jim. We reordered everything in Jim. We sorted. I'm going to roll back the changes really quick here in this file, just because I want to be sure that nothing got changed. So now just state provider got changed. And we're going to say roll back or reload map data anytime we navigate away from a map with unsaved changes. Otherwise, we'd have to like put the flag into the map. It becomes unclear if you have unsaved changes or not in your environment. You'd have to like throw up a thing on exit or something. We'll go with this for now and see if it sucks or not to use as we continue to use the tools to dog food them. Let's save this. This should change gym map, okay? Because it's going to reorder these fellers. Because they were just thrown in here in any old order, which is fine. So that used to be 66C. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go ahead and let it be that way. Save gym map with sorted connections. That's fine. That way we can differentiate anything we change in the future more easily. Oh, we do need to do this as well. How do I want to accomplish this? This is just a UI form issue here. But I was thinking... I started thinking about the tags already. Got squirreled. One thing at a time. Let's focus. So we need to go to our form for connection tiles. And in our tag widget, tag widget state, should have a validator. It might be at the parent. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Validator. If it's empty, it's that. We need to go through. Tags are just strings right now. In current tags, we're gonna do cardinal count. Because I don't think there's a... There's not like a helper for this, I don't think. Wouldn't make sense. I could do a where. Might as well just count, though, at that point. Unix of index where. Yeah, okay, that's fine. If tag what was we had a helper for this. It's in coordinates, which is up here. Direction, get direction, string value. If get direction tag is not equal direction invalid, I could do this, or because I don't really care so much about what direction it is. First where hey daily check-in. Well, hey yourself. How's things going? But we'd end up doing the same thing and just returning an int instead of a direction. So it really didn't save us anything to try to do a bool or something there. We're just going to do that. If it's not direction invalid, cardinal count plus plus. And then if cardinal count is greater than 1, return connections may only have one cardinal direction tag. So now if I was to come in here and try to make east have a south tag as well and apply that, it didn't give me an error. Well, it didn't give me error text, I should say. Oh, did we not do... We have to set state in here. That's right, because it's kind of a wonky widget. I still need to return you, but error text equals that. Let's try that again, shall we? One cardinal. And then you... Incorrect use of parent data widget? What? The UI is much more modern than those MUDs you showed in the short. This is the editor. This is how you build the map. Incorrect use of parent data widget, you say? That would have to be in my error text widget. Rich text, flexible wrap, padding, constraint box, semantics, focus. Where are you? Air text is not empty, flexible, child text. It's this guy here. Do I need to put you into a row? that. This needs to be children. I don't really want to put a row in here, though. You flexible. Close you. Close that. Close the row. That's what you're complaining about. That'll clear the error, but now we need to reset you. South. Y. No more error. Okay. I gotta do that so that it can be flexible. How hard is this? Is even developing this for a year? I mean, I had to learn Dart and Flutter. And it's not a full-time job. So, like, it's complicated. There's things that need to be done. But a lot of it has to be learning, too. Widget that controls how a child of a row or column or flexes. So I could make you a flex instead. No. Oh, direction is required. We can do that. Direction. What is a direction? Are you a axis? Give me... Why aren't you giving me documentation? Give me the things that I need to see. There we go. Required axis direction. Axis... horizontal. And then... center spacing. You have a list of children still. So I don't really gain anything by doing that over a row. That's what you're saying. A row is just a flex with the axis preset, I bet. Okay. We'll just go with that. It would be nice because this won't fit. Why didn't you build in something like C, C++, or Python? Because I don't want to make 400 fucking make files to build cross-platform. Basically, is the only reason. The server's in Go because I like Go. The UI bits and pieces being cross-platform is the reason for that. Yeah, that'll be fine. It would be nice if this, because this is too wide. Can I do I would have to do a mouse zone for an on hover. Is there a nice, friendly, text box on a hover? Like a hover tooltip, Flutter tooltip. How about that? Tooltip class. You do exist. Let's see what we got here. Tooltip theme. I don't care about that. I'm a tooltip. Okay, cool. Yes. It's just a tooltip. All right. So, but how do I put you in? Okay, I get it. Yeah. That's the main thing that the modern quote unquote modern languages have over the old guard is good tooling, right? Built-in machinery for testing, cross-platform compilation, stuff like that makes life so much nicer It's so good. UI needs loot boxes and microtransaction section? No, Marco. This is an editor. This is for the people running and making the game. Like me. And like that is how Iron Realms monetizes their stuff. It is microtransactions. You can buy like skill points to level faster and stuff. It's how they pay to keep their stuff running. Um, not a super fan of that. I don't like pay to winny stuff like that. Um, it will probably have to be like a subscription type thing. That's the only thing that would make sense. Like it'll have to be cheap to make it interesting, I think. Um, but I gotta figure out. That's a problem for future me as to how do I pay for the server, basically, right? um, okay, so bup, 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 bup. I was looking at tooltips. That's what I was doing, and then I got totally derailed. You have that. What actually makes you... Okay, you're a tooltip, cool, but what makes you come up? Tooltip theme, whatever, sure. Tooltip sample. You have a child, that's what. Okay, so a tooltip widget wraps the child and basically, probably, does everything for us. So let's go ahead and in here, we'll put a tooltip around you. Child is the row, and then our message is air text. Right? So then I might need to rebuild. We'll see. Okay, you. South. Add you. Apply. Oh no. Nope, that does not work. I bet you... Oops. I bet you I need the other... Refer below true. Okay, we can set that. That is true. Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. No? That's what I did. It didn't even compile. That's why. Because I had a missing comma. There we go. Let's set the other stuff though. And we also probably want wait duration here. Wait duration. Duration. Let's do milliseconds. 500. So half a second of hover. See how that feels. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Color. Color. Decoration, box decoration. Or Ooh, or we'd have to set you in the theme. Tooltip theme data. What else do we have tooltips on? Little stuff like automagic tooltips. I'm going to leave it the way it is. It stands out because it is white, but it's not a massive flashbang. I'm gonna leave it be for now. We will have that little bit of a delay. That's good. Perfect. Love it. Right? So if I take self away and I put new tag foo, that would be allowed. Okay? Except for that didn't clear. We do need to fix that. That's going to be in our verify, or validator rather. Otherwise, down here, we null that and then return null. Oh, I can't make you null. Is there a clear on a string? No, I just need to set you to an empty string, I guess. Let's try that again, shall we? Apply. Perfect. Reset. I don't want that to actually change. Perfect. All right. That is going to go into a commit. Config tags. Oh, no. No. I don't want to put foo in my tags. Config tags. You come out of there. There we go. We'll do a commit and we'll say verify that we don't have more than one cardinal tag in tag list. Display error text as tooltip for when the sidebar is too small. Okay. Meow. We go close you for now. I think close you for now. I think close you for now. All them for now. Let's tidy up. That's been done. Okay. Now we're gonna have to tackle this. I'm gonna figure out how we want to do cross map changes. I'm gonna use the restroom really quick and maybe open a window if it's not too windy. So I'll be right back and then we'll kind of dig into this. I got a couple ideas. We'll have to play around a little bit. But yeah, be right back. There we go. Ooh, I'm blurry now though. Let's fix that up. Bump. You go back to something like that. There we go. All right. So, in our map state, or rather our map controller, actually both of them need this ability because you need to manage tags, and the map controller needs to manage connections. And displaying that they exist. We could do something like callbacks. Could do that. Do I want to do that? Or does that suck? Do I want to do something more like passing the app state? I don't think I want to pass the app state. I think callbacks would be better. We have two cases. It's the tags and it's the connections. For tags, maybe we start there because it'll be easier. We only care about it when we're removing a tag. At that point, we need to know how many connections that's going to change in other maps. Now, fortunately, we already have some things tracked. Ugh. Could do... Let's just take a look here. Connection table max connection IDs, their parent room IDs, but that's just the IDs. And the same with destination table. It's only storing connection IDs. So we'd have to go through all the connections. We could store this information when we inflate the map, I suppose. We would need to then add it anytime we change a tag, right? That also doesn't help us to know how many. Well, I guess we'd have to store. It'd be like a map, right? And the other thing we're going to want to know, okay, so if you're saying, all right, I'm going to delete this tag, and it's going to pop up and tell you, hey, this tag is used on 26 other maps, whatever, or not maps, but 26 other connections on 2 maps, let's say. That also doesn't tell you how safe it is to delete it still. Is it a secondary tag or is it the only tag on that map connection, right? So perhaps perhaps the answer should ought to be that we just go ahead and go through the map. It seems incredibly slow and like it would scale poorly though. What if we changed one of these? Room IDs are offset coordinates in the map. Connection tables, connection ID. We put them in a temporary table when we initially grabbed them out of the config file. We could persist that table. These other guys are just IDs. Do we even use... Well, if we did room table, we have the same problem. We'd have to go through every room, grab each connection. That is where they live. It is a true fact. The other option would be to do, like, store a map of tags to connection IDs as we build it. Basically like creating an index almost, right? And maybe that's the sanest way to go about this, because then we can go through and say, okay, there are 6 elements in this tag list in this map, and I can go through those connections, grab them by ID. I would have to go through connection table to room ID to look through there. But that's probably the sanest way. So we have a map string to UUID value. String UUID value creates you at the start here. Guess we call you tag map. We'd have to check this anytime we add a tag, which is probably okay. So we need to do it on inflate map. Add tags if null. Connection ID is connection in our table for string tag in connection tags. Which can't be null, we just checked that, just added that if you were. But this can't actually be a map to a UUID value. It has to be a list of them. Brain fart. This, that, you, there. 2 of them. Because go away, please. Down here, we have to say if not tag map at tag contains connection ID, then, and this needs to be in parens, receiver can be null. Not you. Why would you be... Because you could be null. If it's null or it doesn't contain. Then we need to add connection ID. Oh, but then I have to check this again. And I'm gonna have to do this over and over again. So what I should do is put you into a function. Add tag to map. Tag. Value is just v, that's fine. So we can move what we have here so far. This will end up being add tag to map. This is still for string tag in connection tags, which can't be null. That tag connection ID, like so. So here we don't need to go through that loop. I just need to say if tag map at tag is null, then what I can do, let's get that down there, get that out of there, is say tag map at tag is equal to string UID value v. So we create a new one. Return. Otherwise, then we need to say if this. It doesn't contain, and this is v. And you're there, okay. And then you can't be. No, we just checked you. You are that. What are you mad about? I like to define close braces. Oh, because this is the whole thing. Yeah, okay. We're also going to need... Got to turn that off now, didn't I? Remove tag from map. Well. Let's make this add ID to, or add connection to tag map. And then this can be remove connection from tag map. We have to do this different because otherwise you'd have to differentiate in a different way. So if tag map at tag, if this is null, we're done. We don't have any entries for that tag. Let's just handle that to be sure. Let me just make sure nothing crazy is happening here. Since I get the beep. No. We'll get back to that later. So that we check our null, right? Just to be sure. And then here, if tag map at tag, which can't be null now, contains v, then tag map at tag. Actually, this is a no op if there's not in there, right? This must be growable. Turns true if value was in the list, if false otherwise. Okay, that's fine. We could do this. I don't think I want to, though. I'm just gonna do... remove it if it was there, and then we can double check here. If tag map at tag can't be null, we checked you. Length is less than 1. And you're gonna tell me I can use is empty here, so sure. Then we're going to is it just remove? It is. Just remove key tag. Okay. We'll need that in a minute. So for here, we've got when we inflate, plate map. We add you to the connection list there. Okay, cool. The other time this could change is in our update here. Either when you're a room, and we have that already here where we remove you from our connections and then remove connection from tag map. This needs to be... Ooh, do I want to do... I'm gonna have to keep looping in my calls, or I can switch this. What if I switch this to just be a connection data? Then... we add tags if they're null in here. Well, I don't want to do that. That should be taken care of on unmarshalling. I'm just going to go through them. They can't be null in this case. It'd be nice to get that out of there, out of tags, make it not nullable. We add your ID. Otherwise, if you don't... And then here, we can do the same thing. Tag is null, we're done. Otherwise, remove c.id. If you're empty, remove it from the map completely. This... this can't be returned, though. This needs to be continue now. Also that. I don't want... Where do we put our immutable keys? We don't even need to consider them. They can't be removed or mucked about with, right? So we just don't need to store that. This one. Immutable tags is in tag controller. We won't have a tag controller here, though. Let's... We can still leave that in there for convenience. Let's put... Let's do like a map constants file, and I want to look up... Is there anything special we should do in Dart for a constants file? Let's see... Why does this guy say he makes his own library, make a new file named Constants Dart? 99% of the time, you don't need to explicitly name your Dart libraries with a statement like library name at the top of your file. You probably shouldn't. What? Why would you not explicitly name? Implicitly named library has the empty string as its name. New libraries used to tie it to separately compiled parts of the library. Should avoid name collisions. Why? Like, this is an internal library. Junk on my mouse. Libraries and visibility section. Coverage of Dart's core library. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Documentation comment, use document libraries. Okay. Libraries and visibility in Dart. Yeah, you import them. Cool, that's fine. Element from lib1. Oh, okay, I see. So that you can do... Okay. So if we don't give it a name, then we don't need to worry about... Like, we just import it, and we don't need to worry about calling the namespace or anything like that. So... In here... We're just going to make this... Well, I want to compile time constants if I want to do this, right? So I would need to put you into a class, wouldn't I? Um, I don't think. So theoretically, like, there's nothing I need to worry about here. It looks like. Can I still? Can I still do? There we go. Immutable tags is equal to this. Am I allowed to do this? I don't think I'm allowed to do this, but let's find out. Would I have to wrap you in a funk? I don't think that's correct syntax for this. This would be from that. That's what you would be. I think. And then you why does that make you an error? It's because of that. It's because of this. Import that. Why didn't... Wired this out right here. Duh. Because this just needs to go. I deleted my constructor as part of that by accident. So then you can go like that. You can go like that. I think that still works. And then we can do this like that. Don't track immutable tags for now. And then we already handled that here because it's not in there. Okay. And then you, okay, so we can now do remove connection from my tag map con data. And if you're a cardinal, you're just going to get skipped. It's fine. And if you're not, because cardinal connections could have non-cardinal tags in addition to them. If they're getting removed, we still have to remove them. So that's fine. The problem here is we actually do need to made a mistake here. Because we still have to add these things if they're new. No, we're good. Okay, it's right here. So we add you to that list and then add connection to tag map. You. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's also fix this up. Add connection to tag map. Connection. Take care of that. In the connection changey update, we have to also clear connection. Let's do that. Cardinal connections remove. Either way, delete connection for vector. Clear from tables should handle connection table remove, remove connection from tag map. That way anytime we clear you from tables, we also remove you from that table. That should handle that. Now, we gotta consider still how to expose this. You can be closed for now. Well, before we forget, hang on. Let's do 4 things. Map constants, map controller, yes. State provider. What do we change to state provider? Oh, we deleted that. Okay, that's fine. So the only change... Yeah, alright, cool. And then tag controller, yeah. Commit, move the immutable tags to a map constants file so we can use them everywhere without a tag controller. I should have mentioned I've added it to map controller, but that's fine. It's not worth worrying about. So, before we forget, because I've already started to forget, I was just gonna do this. I'm gonna get rid of this because it just adds magic. We use it there. Where else do we use you? Is this the only place we use you? We use you in tag edit modal as well. Because you... that is nicer to deal with, for sure. Wait, hang on. This was if it is immutable or not, so we'll just do contains tag. Let that be that. Yeah, we're still fine here to do this. Okay. Where else do I have? Have you an app state? And then you... Immutable tags contains. Doesn't contain that, then do that. Tag control save tags. Notify. Yeah, okay. So we can do that checking there. I'm happy with that. Use the immutable tags instead of the bool, instead of the tag controller wrapper. That's fine. We're gonna go with that. Okie dokie. So we have these guys here. What I want, though... We'd have to intercept this and display it as an error before we get to the app state. I think. Maybe not. Yes, because we don't have... No, we got parent context. Maybe. Let's first... we need to expose in here. Yeah, it'd have to be in the app state. Otherwise, how else would we call it? But then, if we cancel the change, how does the parent widget know? Because we still notify listener. We'll see. We need first to have something in here. I would love to return a struct, but this is Dart. And Dart doesn't have structs. What would be the correct way? It would just be like a little class. It would just be like a data class. Hmm. You can use records as well. Why does my chat connection keep going crazy? I have no unread notifications. Is Restream freaking out? Telling me my connection's bouncing? I think so. Yeah. Must be a Twitch issue. I guess a class is probably the simplest answer here. We can put you in the same file and call you... What if we didn't do that, though? What if we just return the actual conflicting objects themselves? What about that? The... Except for when we do that, if we change something... We need to make sure that that change makes it to the copy that is in the tag map. But we only store IDs, so that's fine. And then we're going to have to go through the room data connections, because that's what the actual current state is. So that's fine. Because we don't put the whole thing in there. Thinking about how to do that nicely. We know what connection you are. We have to go through both lists, though. It's probably still okay. And we're going to want to return the connection data, I think. So we're going to want to display it. And then we don't actually have to count how many tags there are. We can just show the user. We already have the forms for it. We have the widgets for it. We might want to display additional data, but we can do that. We can just put them in another widget. Maybe we get rid of the delete button, which actually is in this form here, I think, not the widget. MFI field. This is a tag widget. This is text field widget. Text field widget. EC widget. This is the whole delete connection. Okay, so it does go into this widget. I'm gonna have to do something with that. We have the component pieces though, for sure. We can also just make a different one that just displays a minimal amount of stuff. Like, maybe we show what tags they would have when we do delete. We probably still want to make them editable though, so that you could say, okay, well, this wouldn't have any tags left, but I could change it. That would just be a rename tag operation if you wanted to change the tags, though. No, we can update a connection from anywhere we have access to that controller. So yeah, we could put that in there. Let's do that. That's just nice that you can do it, right? It's a nice UX. I don't think it'll come up a ton, but it's easy to do. We have the pieces. All right. We might just have to move some of these up to like a shared widget inside that, but that's okay. I'm not offended by that. My delicate sensibilities remain intact. Yeah. Okay. So we'll need to put that into here. And then app state is going to have to handle it from here, which is fine. I just need to go through my deal. I build a widget. I display it in like a pop-up box or something. Yeah, okay. Tell you what. I'm gonna use the restroom again. I'll be right back. And then we'll start tackling this and see how it shapes up. But yeah. Alright. That's better. New non-caffeinated beverage acquired. We've finished our caffeine for now. But it's really warm in here. So we'll stay hydrated instead. Okay, so map controller. I'm going to need to accumulate a list of these guys. Um, we will do get tile. This will be connection data. Or will it? We can pass the whole connection data back. That's not really a problem. And maybe we should. Maybe that's just good to show. It'll be a list of connection data that comes back. Get connections using tag. Okay. So now what we'll need is a list of UUID values. Or will we? Maybe we don't need that. Maybe we just go ahead and make our list. As it is. We'll need one to return anyway. And then return you at the end of this thing. Because we'll need to go for UID value connection ID in we need to check that it even exists in here. So I guess if tag map at tag is null, just return connections, our empty list, right? Let's do that. Otherwise, we have to go through, and it can't be null because we just checked it. And we're going to do a copy here. We're going to give you a copy of this thing, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we want to make sure if, make sure you don't already contain oh, actually, hang on. Because we have to fetch. And we have equality on connections, right? 99% certainly do. Connection model. Yeah, hash and it equals. Okay, so connection data. This connection. Hey, Terrace, how's it going? Get connection tile location, but we need to also have a connection data here. I don't care about the location, actually. I don't think I have. I would have to go through my connection table, just fine. room model is what I could resolve that to. Could give this a helper to give me a connection by ID. Instead of going through it. And I can go for connection data, C in connections. Oh, but then I can't do that. I can do, because there's two, right? There's tagged and not tagged and cardinal. They could both have a tag that is not immutable. Can I do it wouldn't be get, it would be can't do that now, can I? I can do contains. I guess this needs to be nullable. And I guess I could just, the easiest, nicest way would be to go through for connection data, let's see, in cardinal connections, if CID is equal to ID, return C dot connection data clone C. And then if we get here, tag connections, same exact code really. And then if we don't find it in any of that, it's just a null. So we could do that. And then this connection, connection table, right? Connection ID is parent room's ID. Connection ID. This would be get connection by ID. Connection ID. Oh, but this doesn't result. This is just gives me a parent room ID. So then I'd have to get room from the location from the room table. Ugh. This kind of sucks a little bit. And then this would be get tile at this location. and then get connection by ID, right? This is nullable for one. Because this needs to be this. And this actually needs to be this. But because that could be null, this gets ugly. It's in here, so these should all exist. But this is still just horrible. This would all have to be... That's not it. That? Oh, because you're an object, so you'd have to be... Okay, yeah, this is... It's a lot of looking up. But... Okay. Connection table. Connection ID. Good enough. The... Let's just give it parent ID though. It doesn't give you the actual connection, so I can't get the location. But... like, we can do a helper on this, I suppose. Let's see here. I suppose it would need to be get connection by ID. Let's keep that private. We'll do this still. So, meow. the UUID value parent ID is equal to connection table add ID. Right? This needs to be null though. Or nullable rather. Then just return null. Coordinate nullable? Parent location, yeah, nullable, is room table at parent ID if parent location is null. Return null. because we got to check at every step and figure out, right? Then return the result. Well, no, I still got to get... this sure as hell better not be null. Get tile at offset parent location, right? Room data, get you as room data, because you sure better be that. But if we were to wrap this, we can return directly as room data, get connection by ID. And that'll be a null or not, depending on if we can get it, right? Okay. This becomes get connection by ID, connection ID. Cool, groovy, love that. If this connection is not null and connections does not contain this connection, then we add you to the list. There. I think that's the tidiest way we can do this. To figure out what's using this, right? And then the other things... The other things take care of themselves, I think. Except for we can add... If we run it through update tile, it's actually not going to work. We need to expose update connection data. And update connection data would then need to care connection to update. Didn't change anything, we're done. Otherwise, we make you at your parent tile, at that index, a clone of what we have here. But we have to update the tags if we change anything. Updated true break return or break out of is cardinal. This, yeah, return is fine. Updated is true. We could remove and re-add it. Seems unnecessary if we're not updating tags. When for our connection data here, And our clone accounts for tags, right? Yes. But actually, this should be this. I don't need that. But I could also just do... From, there we go. Source tags. Can't be null. I want to get... I don't want you to be nullable. This is just a pain in my butt. What if I made you required? How much would that suck? And if we don't find you, we default you to an empty list already. So it's really just not necessary, I don't think. Get rid of that. Rid of this. You. Cool. Tags is that on a clone. Because tags key is tag on JSON. Otherwise it's an empty string list. So that takes care of all of that. I don't think anything else really needs to create a new connection that wouldn't have it. Test will complain, sure. But I don't particularly care about that. You're all going to be missing... Like, just have it empty. I don't care. It's fine and dandy. Probably could regex this, but I don't want to mess with it. We'll just do it this way. Did I just unselect everything? No, good, okay. You, and 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 you, oop, you, and you. Almost done. Almost there. Come on. There. Tags. List. String. Oh, I don't even need list. Oh wow, did I just crash IntelliJ? No. Okay, good. Woo! It seems unhappy with editing this many things. String. Empty. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. I may have missed something here. I missed one. Okay, that's fine. It was deeply unhappy with that. Oh no, but I gotta do it here. Okay. I didn't think about that. I'm dumb. I should have. Regex time. Put it in a group. exit description, and then some quotes, and then some string stuff, some non-white space basically, and then some quotes, and then a comma is my capture. What am I... Something like this. Am I doing my capture pattern wrong? Is that my... No? Exit description. What's going on here? You. One or more. You should only be one, but you know. Oh, it's because... Like, just some characters? Give me some characters. Some characters, followed by that and that. This should be able to go inside of a capture group, like so. I'm going to replace it with capture group 1, and then a new line, and then string that comma. Okay? Replace 1. Nope, I forgot. Tags. There we go. Replace 1. Alright, that'll do. Except for the one I just doubled. And then... Come on. Do the thing. Why aren't you... Why can't you find that? Exit description. Because I'm dumb and that other file has the wrong quote characters. Okay, that's fine. We'll fix it in a minute. You! Face all of you. What else we got here? Y'all don't have tags. You're like minimal sort of guys. That's fine. I could account for that in a regex. I don't want to. You. Face all. You still, yep, you got the same, oops. There we go. And then you have the wrong characters as well. We do need to fix that, just to be nice and correct in the world of Dart. So we're going to replace single or double quotes with single quotes everywhere yellow. Rock on. You, was it you? Yes, you are also an offender of my incorrect quotationiness. Double quotes replaced with single quotes. YOLO. Singles are in here. There are doubles in here. So bad. YOLO. Bump. YOLO. Might as well, right? You probably have the same... No, you don't. What else do you got? That is a no longer required null check. UUID. Can I YOLO this? I can. Will it work? Seems okay. Rock on. YOLO. These may have issues still that they're not passing, but we can at least clean up the stuff while we're here. Tags no longer. Cool. You don't have a bunch of yellow. You do have a bunch of yellow. ID. Whoop. Place all. YOLO the yellow. You know how it be. Okay. You. 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 Love it. Fantastic. Okay. What else is broke? You're broke down here because you just need to give me an empty list in there, like so. Okay. App model test can get closed. Vertical connection test get closed. 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 This one's gonna be messy, but it's fine. It'll be okay. Alright, now. You know, our editing. Or changing. Bump, 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 bump. When we update tile, when we clear connection, we clear from tables, which includes removing it. That's cool. That's all squared away. But updating needs to handle this. Cardinal connections at index is equal to U. I would still need I guess connection to update if parent tile cardinal connections at I have to do this. Tag in cardinal connections at I, right? Index. Tags. In my tags. If my... Because I go through my... Each one of these is my connection. This sucks to do, but... Yeah. So I'll go through there. We'll do that. If these are equal, then tag found is true. Break. Breaks out of this loop. And then if we didn't find the tag, oh, but I don't have the ability to do this in discrete chunks like that. I'd have to either make a helper for that, or just remove you and then add my new one. It's either that or write one that a helper, or do it all manually multiple times, which I'm not super interested in doing. That sounds like a pain in my ass. And this will just take care of everybody. And the same can be done right here. If we're in our deal there. And actually, because if we didn't change anything, we're done. We skip out of here, right? Either it's a new parent cardinal connections add, tag connections add. Either way, add them to the tag map. So as long as we didn't omit the rest of the steps here, either we updated this, in which case we removed the old data, or we created a new one. Either way, we need to just add this new data to our tag map. And then we put you into our tables if you're on the same map. Otherwise, we omit the destination table stuff. Okay. That should be okay. And we just have to call update connection for those, which we need to ensure everything's wired up correctly and exposed to public API. Clear connection. Well, actually, that's still a thing to consider. Update tile, clear connection. Which this is already public, so I think we're good. No. We're not good because we don't have this, which is just going to be this is going to be this for convenience. Yeah, you. Called you data, that's fine. And then this will get replaced with that. So it all uses the same code path. And then, does anybody use you outside of me now? You used in test, which maybe we care about. Update connection. Clears you. That's in map controller. It's only here. It's in delete selected tile. Connection. Room data versus connection tile. But we might leave it for now. We might need it in the future. We'll leave it for now. Or we might be able to clean this up in the future and just call update because it has that tag. But this is it's clear. It's easy to read. We'll leave it for now. Okay. So then let's commit this because it's got a bunch of stuff in it. Mostly it's going to be those tests. Yeah. So give map controller the ability to resolve a list of a tag into a list of connections that use it. Make connection object tags no longer nullable. Default to empty list in unmarshal. If key is missing. And then fix the tests broken by making tags required. Fix the text broken syntax only by making tags required. Because we only fix the syntax. We don't know if they're passing it. We don't care just yet. It is a thing we do need to care about soon. But for now, we're going to keep pushing on with this. Okay, so now we can determine if other things have a tag. We need to get that information to the user. In my connection data form, it's not even in you though. It's in my tag editor. You. Because you grab app state tags. Remove tag gets called in here. Okay, so. I do have a parent context though. Am I allowed? Because you... Come over here. If I monkey with you... Uh-oh. I broke a thing. We need to fix that. Direction is not a subtype of type string. In here... Map constants tag edit modal. Immutable tags contains tag. So immutable tags. I suspect this is going to be a bigger problem. Yes. Direction is not a subtype of type string because I made a mistake. Where did I put you? Map constants. There you are. Right in front of my face. List a string from direction.values, but this needs to be different. I don't think I can do that. Yeah, no. I could do... map you. To list. This is not correct. I need that. I thought it was to list. Why can't I to list? Isn't defined for the type iterable. Is it this? That? It's that. Okay. That, however... That's a string. What's up with you? There we go. That'll get me back in action. Not you, though. Let's open you, just because. So if I try to monkey with these guys... I'm in a modal here, right? Am I allowed? Let's actually, let's chuck this in. Correct the immutable tags list to actually be a list of string. We do need that. That's important. Can I do another modal? Or would I have to do something else? Let's try... Because you're in an alert dialogue. Let's try it. So when we're in here, we call remove tag from over there, and we say list of connection data, connections using this tag. Connection data, empty list here to start with. Import you. I go for map controller MC in my controllers. I say add but this could be null, so I need to do this. This is get connections using tag, target tag. If this map connection isn't null, connections using this tag, add this map connections. Spread. Expected to find. Oh yeah. But you. Oh, you can't be null. That's okay. Hang on. You're an empty list if. Okay, that's even better. Because that's going to make this a lot simpler and cleaner and nicer. We're just going to add whatever you get. Like so. Right? Can't do that? What if I have perennial? No? Why won't you let me? Identifier. Oh, fine. Wait a minute, hang on. Can I, there's another, I'm forgetting add all. Ah, there you are. Okay. Now, after I go through all of these, if the connection to this tag is not empty, then how do I push show dialogue? I don't think I can do this. No. If parent context mounted, I need to guard it. Dot. Can't remember. Let me go look it up. That needs to go away. Flutter show modal. What I really want is a confirmation dialogue. Perhaps. Confirm dialogue. But I want you to have things in you. Is that allowed? Content, maybe. Maybe is the answer, I think, here. I don't want this. This doesn't let me. This is a button. I need to do. I think I need to do a modal. Show dialogue function. But this still says a child. That doesn't help me. I can push though. Which would be a little different. So I can navigate or push, parent context, a material page route with a builder. Context, return, just a text, so we can see if it works. And this might be okay for a couple things. So we need to make sure that we use portals someplace. Let's close you, gym entrance. We'll add to you the portal tag. We'll apply that. We'll save that for now. Close you, go back to gym. You. Let's also do that here. And if I tried to delete portal, then it gets me over here. Okay. I'm stuck here though. Children widget list you floating action button unpressed is at navigator pop with the results. Just leaving for now. What's wrong with that? Build context. Navigator pop. Navigator pop. Which we did over here. Oh, it needs this context. That's why. Okay. There, that, you, close that. There. Gets me. Oop, well, any good is it? Navigator pop context leaving. I need to label or child? No. I'm still not impressed. Child text. Let me out. It's not. Rebuilding it? Okay. Thought I could get clever, but apparently not. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? So, edit my tags. Ooh, portal was removed. Isn't that good? Hang on. Let's go back to... And we didn't take you out of there yet. Yes, good. Okay, cool. Tags. Put portal back here for me, please. Reload. From the top now. Bum 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 bum. App editor doesn't really matter where. Let's do over here though, just to be sure. Need to go tag editor because we don't have any place else for this to live just yet. Portal. Oops. Don't change it. Do this. Null is not a subtype of type room data in typecast. Excuse me? What? Y'all still have portal in you, right? Portal. Portal. What happened there? Here. That doesn't make sense. Because a connection tile should not exist without parent. That should be completely and utterly not a thing. And why now? We've added you back to tags. You're in here. Something has gone wonky. Edit you. Yeah, okay. Those don't need to be checked while we're here. This can be just that now. Just while we're here. Sent button down. Null is not a subtype of type root data in type data cast. U, which comes from up here. Get connection by ID. My ID. It's in the tag map, obviously. Y'all both still have it. State tag edit modal. You're not empty. Parent location is room table. This already accounts for offset. So this is my mistake right there. It's just get tile. Because we already accounted for the offset. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Let me out. Takes me back here. Obviously, we deleted a thing that we didn't want to delete just yet. But we were able to display that. I don't love that, but it might be the way we gotta do it. Because there's just limited choices because we're actually in the state provider. We're not in a widget here. Although, hang on. Because we can do a route with a builder, we know this guy is actually kind of like disconnected because we had to give him a special state. So maybe... What if I return to layout builder? No, it needs to be a route to an object. Okay. What about just an alert dialog then? What do you think about them apples? And taking this actually a little further, you don't have a build context in this case, though. That would be problematic. Can't be assigned to the parameter type route object. Seems like route has to be. And maybe this is fine. Maybe that's sufficient for what we need to do. And if we put this into a widget, then we can just return you in here, that widget. And then we could reuse it. Like, we should still probably pull tag editing out into its own thing, just so you can get there if you want to. Without going through all the hoops of going to a map and opening it that way and getting a connection that has some tags and doing that. And because we still have app state, so it should be fine. Well, it ended up looking the same, though, because we have to trigger it from app state. It's either that or we have to... hand it back and then do something like set a flag or... something. Let's go with this. If we hate it, we can change it. Without too much trouble, right? It ain't a huge deal here. We'll figure something out, I suppose. And then... How do I read return of navigator pop? Ba 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 ba. This is saying push this up there. Selection screen. Result. Show snack bar with the result. So it just goes. It's on the same thing though. For the sake of my sanity, do that really quick. Print results. I don't have result, of course. Why would I? I don't follow. Where the hell does it get that? Turns a future that completes after calling. But you're a void. Navigator push context. Constant selection screen. Like where... Pop with the context. Must have to be in scaffold messenger of? That doesn't make sense. But for funsies... parent context... Why is there 2 dots? I wonder... Unnecessary, yeah. I guess it's so you can do 2 things? I don't know. I don't know, so you can like do 2 things off of 1. That's weird. We can do that, like exactly what they do. This is the content. Show snack bar. Oh, I forgot to. Snack bar, like so. Snaggy bar! Yeah, I still don't have a result. Like, where would you set that? Is this because it's a future? I don't want to do a freaking async here. I don't know. I think this is why we've fallen down this trap before. And it's a pain in the ass to understand what they expect you to do. So we end up just doing things in here, which I'm still perfectly happy to do. So we can just put this into an else. shoop, like so, uncomment them. So that only runs if it's empty, and then we can put stuff in there. So, here's what we're going to do. Pick up here. Need to get, a widget in here that communicates which things would be broken, which connections would be affected, and which would be totally broken by this removal. Okay? That's what we're going to start with. We will need to also do the same thing here to pop up and say, hey, you're going to affect all these other things as well. Do you want to do that? Just so, you know, you can confirm or not. But that is going to take us to the 4-hour mark, and I do this thing for roughly 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, starting on Friday and ending today. So that means it's time for me to go have some lunch, turn on some AC because it's getting really hot in here and humid, and do some other stuff for a while. So if you like this kind of nonsense, come on back around next week. This week on Friday, around about 10 a.m. Central Time. I'll be here doing more of it, and I would love to see you again. If not, y'all have yourselves a great week anyway.